Boom. What up, math nerds and mathletes? Time to get down that math grind right now and flex your brain muscle. Today we're going to look at symmetry as it relates to transformations, and we're going to take a look at what happens when we take a figure and we try to map it onto itself, right? So we're going to look at three different types of transformations, or I'm sorry, three different types of symmetry. And I know, man, it's exciting. Strap in, get ready to do some work. So as I said, we're looking at symmetry, right? We're looking at three different types of symmetry. The first one is line symmetry, right? And with line symmetry, we're trying to map a figure onto itself by reflection in a line, right? So mapping a figure onto itself by a reflection in a line. Think about a mirror image, right? A mirror image of something. So if I have this triangle right here and I draw a line of reflection right there, that side looks exactly the same of that side, right? So it has symmetry. Those of you who take art classes, you know when you're drawing, certain things, certain figures and shapes have symmetry, right? So this line symmetry is we draw a line, one half looks exactly the same as the other, right? I can take a rectangle, do the same thing, right? The two sides look the same. Okay, the second type of symmetry we're going to look at is point symmetry, right? And point symmetry is if the figure is mapped onto itself by rotating the figure 180 degrees around the center point, right? So mapping a figure onto itself by rotating the figure 180 degrees about a center point. Okay, so if I take the letter N, right, and I put a little center point right there, and I rotate it 180 degrees, that letter N is going to look exactly the same, right? So if I also take this figure and I put it at a center point and I rotate it 180 degrees, I'm going to get the exact same figure. Now, point symmetry is not to be confused with rotational symmetry. Okay, so rotational symmetry is mapping a figure onto itself by rotating the figure less than 360 degrees about a center point. Right? So this time we can think of almost like a pinwheel. You guys have seen those. They have the little... Right? I put a center point here. I rotate it less than 360. It's going to be the same figure, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at some practice problems here. Okay? Take a look at this one. If I draw a line directly down the center, right, that side and that side look the same, right? So it has line symmetry. If I put a point right in the middle and I rotate it 180, right, does it look the same upside down? Yes, it does. That same point, I rotate it less than 360. Does it look the same? Yes, it does. Okay, let's go on down here to this star. If I go ahead and draw a line right down the middle of it, right? That side and that side look the same, so it has line symmetry. If I put a point right here in the middle and I rotate it 180 degrees, does it look the same upside down? If I flipped this star upside down, does it look the same? No. Now what if I rotated it less than 360? Is there a way I could rotate it less than 360 and get the same figure? Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at this right triangle right here. Put a line right here. Does that side and that side look the same? No. Can I put a point right here and flip it upside down? Does it look the same? No. Can I rotate it less than 360 to get it to look the same? No. So it doesn't have any. All right? Let's look at this A, right? That side's the same, that side's the same. What about if I rotate it? If I flipped it upside down, does it look the same? No. What if I rotate it less than 360? No. So, for this case, the only one that this has is line symmetry, right? Now, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I think it's pretty straightforward. Remember, we're looking to see if the figure looks the same when we either rotate it or cut it in half. If it does, then it has symmetry. If it doesn't, then it doesn't have symmetry. Pretty straightforward, pretty cut and dry. All right, I know you guys just put in the grind on that one. Take a deep breath, fuel and hydrate. Let's get after it. Have a great day.